Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Five Star Joshi Show here on the Fight Game Media Network or my YouTube, youtube.com/@ScottEWrestling. Yes, the start of a new era for the show. We are now always going to be on YouTube, starting with this very episode. I'd like to, of course, thank Garrett and everyone over at FGM for letting this happen, creating more possibilities for more eyes, more content on my behalf over here on the YouTube channel. If you're listening on the usual podcast feed, I thank you as always for continuing to listen to the podcast. As you can see, back to being solo once again this week, because we've had a couple weeks of busyness, right? We've had back-to-back live review shows, one for Stardom Dream Queendom 2024, just a few weeks ago. That's over on the Fight Game Media Network YouTube channel, as well as Marigold First Stream 2025 live stream, which is also on the Fight Game Media Network YouTube channel. So, to give everyone an idea, moving forward, what is the plan in terms of the podcast? If we are doing a live stream, for this specific show, the Five Star Joshi Show, it will be over with FGM. That is not changing. But if we do normal podcast episodes, they're landing right here as well as the normal podcast feed. So I just want to explain that to everyone. This will be on my YouTube channel. All live streams will be on FGM. So just to let you know, when it comes to this show, I plan to do plenty more on my own YouTube channel, including the 5-Star Joshi Awards, which I officially did on my channel the other day. That is now live up over there. You can go check it out. It is in full form. I announced the winners for Wrestler of the Year, Match of the Year, Show of the Year, Promotion of the Year, and so much more. You can check out that video now. I also tweeted it out, blue skied it. It's everywhere. But thank you, everyone who took part in that vote. Very, very proud of how that turned out. Now, this upcoming Monday, we will have another video that has to do with this show on my YouTube channel. That will be the 2025 Joshi predictions. I often used to toss them onto the end of the first episode of the year here, which would be this one. Instead, we are going to do a full length podcast, video podcast, whatever you want to call it, including all my predictions from last year and how I did, and the predictions for this upcoming year. I have them all written down, all ready to go. So something to look forward to if you want some more content from me. But of course, as I promised 2 weeks ago, I would be back here to talk everything else that happened within the past couple weeks in the world of Joshi. So we're going to hit as much as we can. I'll give you some, newsers, some reviews, a little bit of everything. We will be breaking out Tokyo Joshi Pro, which of course was their big Korakuen show, a complete success for TJPW. I think it's their best Korakuen number in over a year, probably a year at least, but it was an incredible show. So I'm really looking forward to talking about that one. We'll also talk Stardom, New Year Dream 2025, which of course was on the 3rd. We're going to talk preview stuff for this upcoming weekend. We're going to talk Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dynasty, a little bit of everything here today. I'll also go over some Ice Ribbon tidbits, Oz Academy tidbits, and anything else I can probably think of in the meantime. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on podcast, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, because we are off. We are off on this new era of the 5-Star Joshi Show. And it all starts with the first big newser of the past week, which of course was that Hazuki and Koguma went to Oz Academy and won the Oz Academy tag team titles, defeating Ryo Mizunami and Sonoko Kato in a very entertaining tag team match. It's never a bad time in the world of Joshi when FWC has belts. I thought the match they had was quite good. In terms of, kind of what you'd expect out of those two in that scenario. Like, this is new opponents for them, something that you want to be entertained by, right? And they're facing a tag team that I honestly, I hold Mizunami and Kato in high regards in terms of what they've been able to do. Obviously, they're on the older side of Joshi these days, but I thought they absolutely thrived. So that was a really good match there. I know that FWC will be defending these championships once again here in the coming weeks against Aquino and Kohaku, I believe. So something to look forward to there. We'll talk about that when we get there. But congratulations to FWC on the title win. Moving on now to the world of Stardom. Like I said, lots to talk about here. We didn't get to review New Year Dream, so I'm going to do just that now. New Year Dream was a interesting show. So, as tradition with Stardom on January 3rd, their first show of the year is often a nothing show. It's a big venue the past couple years, but other than that, not too much to grasp onto. We've done the Triangle Derby previously the past 2 years. Last year, obviously, was the full tournament. The year before that, I think, is when it kicked off. So the January 3rd show can always be a mixed bag. This year, it was essentially the Stardom roster against outsiders in some way, shape, or form. So this is a interesting show to talk about. It had one match that I thought was great, a tag team event that I thought was very good. Another tag match that I thought was very good. So we'll get into all of it right here, right now. So Stardom New Year Dream, 2054 people in attendance at the Tokyo Garden Theater, not the arena I'd pick for a wrestling show moving forward. It's a big arena that fits, I think, 8,000. Like, it's just an absurd arena, and it's a concert stage. Like, it's not built for wrestling. Um, that being said, I thought Stardom put together, probably the best effort they could, considering Kingdom was a week before, and of course, they had two big match involvements coming over the weekend. So, let's get to the show now, shall we? We had 3 pre-show matches. It was Mizuki Kato and Yuma Makoto defeating Hinoka and Ryan. Both Kato and Makoto come from Diana. We had God's Eyes, Lady C, and Nanami beating Momokogo and Saya Ida. And we had Hina and Rana Yagami defeating Zones and Soy from Evo Girls. So, a nothing pre-show. Ultimately, we are here to talk about the actual card, which of course started with Athena and Tekla facing Mina Shirakawa and Tay Mello. Tay Mello returning from a 2-year absence from the ring. I believe she had a kid, and then of course Jess is coming back. This was her first match back. This match ultimately is leading to a lot more, as we have learned since then. However, the match itself, I didn't find all too special by any stretch. I don't think it was a standout match by any means, but it's very cool to see Athena step into a Stardom ring. I think that was my biggest takeaway from this. It was good to see Tay Mello in the ring again. I thought, all things considered, she looked pretty good. In another world, she probably has a pretty cool Stardom run in her, but she has a kid. I don't expect her to be coming to Japan all the time, but I think the door's open after this appearance. I wouldn't mind it by any stretch. But a fine opening match, nothing I think that you need to write home about. There was a high-speed battle royal, which was won by Saki Kashima when she defeated Kohaku, Motoi Hamabe, Waka Tsukiyama, and Yuna Mizumori. Saki Kashima got a championship match from this, which is on the upcoming Korakuen, which we'll talk about with the uh, new rules for high speed championship matches, which I have some thoughts about, both positive, maybe a little negative, but both, it's ultimately plenty of thoughts, trust me. We had Rina and Ruaka defeat Hanan and Manami. So a key part of I thought this show was a lot of the winners from Stardom Dream Queendom, the incredible year-end show that Stardom did, got pinned on this show. That included Hanan in this match. Ruaka pinned her with the freezer bomb, setting up the first tag defense for Wingori. We don't know who Ruaka's partner will be. Obviously, she tagged with Rina here, but you would think she probably rolls in there with Natsuko Tora. I'm behind it either way. I think a great match can be had for Wingori in their first defense against either team. But the match itself was just, fine. It was nothing to write home about once again. I thought overall it did a lot, enough good. I like seeing Minami in Sendai Girls. Obviously, I'm a big fan of hers and what she's able to do. So that was good to see here. Continuing on to the rest of the card here. This is really where we get to the match that I was most excited for on the card. I know I'm not the only one here by any stretch. When it comes to this card, for me, it was all about the Sendai Girls Junior Championship match because the Sendai Girls Junior Championship, right, is the most interesting title right now because it's held by one and only Chi Chi. If you listen to this show, you know my praise for Chi Chi continues, and I feel more and more right of that praise that I have had for seemingly forever at this stage. I think that Chi Chi is truly fantastic, and I think she has found a forever rival in Aya Sakura. Aya Sakura is also fantastic, and you bring these two together and you make magic once again. This match went 15 minutes and 9 seconds. It did not feel that long at all. It was so well worked, so pure. And when I say pure, I mean these two wrestled such a perfectly straight up rivalry infused match just based on wanting to win. There's something to be said about simplicity in wrestling that can make a match so much better. This was one of my favorite matches of the entire week. I liked this match more than either Wrestle Kingdom or Wrestle Dynasty's main events. I like this match more than a lot of matches. And listen, I know who I am. I know that this is what happens as a Joshi fan. But Chi-Chi and Aya Sakura, they just get it. They've only gotten better and better as they faced each other. Chi-Chi is truly phenomenal. She is someone that, if you haven't already, put your stock into. She's just a budding star that is waiting for bigger opportunity after bigger opportunity. She is someone that I truly believe should be winning more gold here in the new year. Maybe that is a prediction spoiler for my video on Monday. Maybe it's not. But limitless potential for the top Evo girl. She just gets it. Aya Sakura gets it. This match had everything you want out of two rookies going head to head. So an awesome, awesome match. The best match of the show. If you haven't watched it, watch it. I truly believe this is well worth it. Chi Chi got the win, and then Rana Yagami came down to the ring and challenged Chi Chi for the title. That match will happen in Evo Girls. So something to look out for. That will be on the 29th. Very much looking forward to that match as well. Chi Chi runs the world, folks. What can I say? She's the best. She is the best. But that was a great match. We'll continue on now with the card here. The next match on the lineup was Shuri, Tomoki Inaba, and Kyoko Kyoka Kotatsu versus Hates Azusa Naba, Fukigen Death, and Momo Watanabe. This was Kotatsu's debut match, formerly known as Maya Fukuda. This match I thought was a fine debut for Kotatsu. She's gonna take a lot of work. Like, listen, this is someone who had like 2 matches in Actress Girls before going to GLEAT and only fighting in UWF style matches. This is someone that's going to take time to learn. But from what we got here, there are very obvious points to build off of where she can become what I think is going to be a really good addition to Stardom. She is on every show. She's a signed wrestler for this company. I think she's only going to get better. She's learning from Shuri. She's the perfect person for this girl to learn from. I think the development will be very clear. She did get the win. She made Fukigen Death tap out. She hit a great Brazilian kick at one point, a la, what Arisa Hoshiki used to hit. There's a lot of potential here that I'm excited about. If you remember the Future of Joshi article I wrote back in 2023, she was on there for a reason. I'm considering doing some other new series for the Future of Joshi. I had so many great people work on it last year. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out the way I wanted to. I just lost track of time. So I'm thinking of bringing it back for 2025 to highlight this great, great field of Joshi competitors. But she is someone who I do believe has the potential to become something great. And this was a good debut for her. She still seems a little lost when it comes to like where she needs to set up and where she needs to pose, but that'll all come in time. It'll all come in time. And then we have one of the other great, I thought, really good matches on the show. It was Suzuki, Koguma, and Mayu Iwatani in a preview tag against Azumi, Mei Seira, and Miyu Amasaki. I mean, when you put stars against Neo Genesis, folks, this is what you're going to get. You're just going to get a great trios match. That is what happens when you put great wrestlers in a ring. There was nothing I could say about this that was bad. It was just such a perfectly done preview tag for Mayu and Azumi. Then we had the Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi Seriano and Sayaka Carrara defeating Dump Matsumoto, Natsuko Tora, and Zap when Sayaka Carrara pinned Natsuko Tora, the same Natsuko Tora that beat Micah a week ago. See, this is my thing. Like, we're having Natsuko Tora got this huge win. I understand like the Zap and Dump aren't going to get pinned, but I just would have had Carrara lose here. But they want to build Carrara in a very unique way, so it's fine. This match was not good. That plain and simple. I don't know what you really expect. It's exactly what I expected, which was not a good match, the worst match on the show. I don't have much to say about it. It's every current Dump match. Love Dump Matsumoto, but yeah, it was not that great. And then we had Hi Mate, Hanako and Micah face Team 200 kilograms to Chihiro Hashimoto and Yu in one of Team 200 kilograms final matches before leaving, or sorry, let me rephrase, before Yu leaves for her break. So what can I say about this other than everything that Micah and Hashimoto did against each other had me wanting more? I said, yes, let's make this a singles match. That's what it felt like. It felt like we were selling the idea of this being a one-on-one match. I say you let them do a 15-minute match, 15-minute time limit, go to a time limit draw, no problem, but just have an awesome singles match, because it was very apparent in this match that that's exactly what they have. I also thought this might have been the best showing from Hanako. There was, she was very good in there with Micah. I think that helps her, right? When I reviewed the Hashimoto Micah match, the problem, or not the Hashimoto Micah match, the Hashimoto Hanako match, the problem was she just, she doesn't have the, I think, ability to put together a singles match against someone who's going to be so dominant like Hashimoto. And it was wrestled 50-50 and it just didn't work. This worked. this worked, and Micah ultimately pinned you with a shock pin. So simple work there. I thought the match was really, really good. And all I want is Micah versus Chihiro Hashimoto. I don't know if anyone could have left this match wanting anything else. And then you had what was originally the presumed main event. It was Tam Nakano going one-on-one with Unagi Sayaka. Tam Nakano would no longer go by Tam Nakano if she lost. If Unagi Sayaka lost, she would no longer be welcomed back to Stardom. I I don't really know what the match was supposed to do. Let me take a sip of my drink first. I don't know what the accomplishment of this match was. I don't know why the stipulations were necessary, but to me, it essentially was let's do this match to close the door on Unagi. And also, this was probably Unagi getting one of Tam or someone for her Ryogoku Sumo Hall on April 26th. That was about all I had for this. I didn't really grasp to the match. I'm not very interested in their history. I don't think there's a lot there that necessarily makes a big singles match for me. And I don't see Unagi as like a super worker by any means. So them doing, the over dramatics and whatnot, it didn't click. Like I thought Tam and Saya Kamatani had a far better match with the same mindset of over dramatics and relying on story the week before. Which isn't a shock. Saya Kamatani is a much better wrestler than Unagi. But yeah, this match was slow. Um, just I don't know, uninspiring for me. Maybe for others it was good. It just I thought it was the right idea not to make it the main event. I also thought it was the right idea to book it because they're two big names and you were trying to sell tickets. So I don't have a problem with that. It was hard to really get into because there was no way one Tam was losing. And then when you add the stipulation, there was absolutely no chance in hell Tam was losing. So yeah, that's about it. Um I don't have much more to say about this, but what I do have some to say about was the main event, which was Starlight Kid and Suzuki defeating Saya Kamatani and Momo Watanabe. Listen, folks, I'm just going to give a prediction away here that is on my 2025 predictions video. Starlight Kid is going to be the MVP of this company this year. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I know people love Saya Kamatani and are excited about her World of Stardom title run and all this. Starlight Kid is on another level right now. She is freaking awesome. Truly. The work between her and Momo in this match was specifically fantastic. Legitimately, like, probably the best actual wrestling we've seen on this show. Just everything they did, and mind you, this is the second Momo match of the night. Momo had been in the Shuri match where those two had a good exchange, and then they got out of the ring. But this was great between these two. Starlight Kid versus Momo Watanabe is a match I'd love to see. Obviously, plenty of history there. They were former tag champs, and Momo obviously stayed with Hate, but we'll see there. But the big uh, aspect of this match wasn't actually them. It ultimately came down to Saya Kamatani and Suzu Suzuki, where Suzu Suzuki pinned Saya Kamatani, the new World of Stardom champion, in the middle of the ring, essentially getting her a championship match. So, yes, that is right. The woman who was the final defense for Tam Nakano before dropping to Saya Kamatani will indeed be the first defense for Saya Kamatani. I don't know if that is the smartest because Suzu has taken a lot of big losses, right? She lost the Tam match, then she lost the Great Okan match. Now she's going to lose this match. So it's interesting as the first challenger. Suzu feels like she has been slotted into almost, the difficult role of like first world champion challenger or just, another number, which sucks. You know how much of a fan I am of Suzuki. She freaking still rules. She's really found her game the past couple months after the injury and so on. Um, so that sucks. But what doesn't suck is the fact that these two are going to have a match for the World of Stardom Championship. I love their chemistry. They had a singles match back in the 2022 Five Star, and it was so good. 2022? 2022, yes. It was so good. And I thought they were going to run it back for the Wonder. They never did. Now we get the world title match. Obviously, a lot has changed for both of them. Suzu isn't that same wrestler. Saya isn't that same wrestler. But at the end of the day, they're still both great wrestlers. And yes, I have shared my thoughts on Saya Kamatani many times and her heel work and so on. I'm excited for this reign. I've said it once and many times. I know she can still have great matches. And Suzuki. So I'm into the direction we are going. It's just a matter of this was the third big winner from the previous week getting pinned. But hey, it's one way to get a challenger. So I won't complain too much. It's the way they get their challengers. So it is what it is. Now let's pivot away from the Stardom shows to get to that, of course, Wrestle Kingdom 19 in the Tokyo Dome, where Mayu Iwatani finally, after having to wait one extra year, got the chance to defend the IWGP Women's Championship against Azumi. I had said on this show in the lead up multiple times, no matter what Mayu Iwatani decides to do in the coming months, because we all know that decision is coming, her losing the title here made all the sense in the world. Not because it had anything to do necessarily with Mayu Iwatani, it had everything to do with Azumi. There was a chance to make her a star here, and she is a star. People worldwide love this woman, and rightfully so, because she's awesome, an incredible wrestler. But inside the Tokyo Dome, you have an opportunity, and you know they're going to not get a lot of time. 8 minutes and 46 seconds. You know they're not going to get a lot of time. But these two wrestle the type of match where they don't need a lot of time, right? They don't need a lot of time. And they wrestled such an incredible match. No one else is going to have this match in 8 minutes and 46 seconds. It's just not going to happen. This was one of the best matches on either night of Wrestle Kingdom or Wrestle Dynasty, and they got 8 minutes and 46 seconds because they know how to work it. I say it every single time I have to. Mayu Iwatani is the greatest of all time, my favorite wrestler of all time, and it's because of performances like this. On a weekend where many understandably walk away singing the praises of Kenny Omega, I still find a way to walk away singing the praises of Mayu Iwatani and her insane ability to deliver no matter the time constraints, no matter the situation, no matter the arena. This is what she does. She is the GOAT, the greatest. Unbelievable. And Azumi is so perfect in that sub 15-minute standard. She just gets it. She goes out there and performs. She lights up the show. They maximized every single second they had. There was no time to be wasted. Just an incredible match full of high speed, full of bombs, full of pure entertainment. This was truly great. Mayu Iwatani successfully defended the title, hitting the two-step dragon suplex hold to get the win. Very emotional moment for myself as a, obviously, again, die-hard fan of Mayu Iwatani. This woman is the reason I am still a wrestling fan. Finding Joshi the time I did and becoming such a fan of hers, again, I will say it once, I'll say it twice, I'll say it many times. Because of her, I'm still such a fan of this stuff and have become a bigger fan in time. She's the greatest of all time. She deserved this moment. She deserved to defend the belt in the Tokyo Dome. She deserved to win in the Tokyo Dome. That ultimately leaves us to the simple question of what's next, right? What is next? It feels obvious. It feels like Tam Nakano. If it's not Tam Nakano, it's Micah. It's one of the two. I think Tam Nakano or the wild card, which is always, of course, Mercedes Mone. That is a legitimate wild card that I will not tune out. But it is not a choice that I necessarily see happening because I do think Tam winning and then defending against Mercedes feels very likely. I think Mercedes is very busy with all the titles she has now. It doesn't necessarily need to happen right now, but I will keep that option out there because a lot of people bring it up. With Mayu Iwatani, her and Tam have a story that needs to be closed. Tam's never beaten Mayu Iwatani, and Mayu Iwatani has either beaten Tam or went to a draw with Tam, and this is a title where if you want to give Tam that moment and get her back on top in a way, it's obviously here. So it remains to be seen if that's the direction they go. But that's the direction I expect once AZM lost. So we will see. But these two hit a home run at Wrestle Kingdom. Absolutely awesome. Next up, we go to Wrestle Dynasty for the International Women's Cup 4-way match, which Momo Watanabe won. I couldn't be more happy to be wrong, folks. Momo Watanabe was not there to get pinned. She was there to win the whole freaking thing. And by the way, hilarious. The cup was gigantic. Like this cup that they won, what she won, was humongous. But this match, listen, they were put in the most difficult spot on either Tokyo Dome card. Crowd still filling in. Lights are on. Show's not even really getting started yet. And these four crush it. I mean, Persephone is a star in the making, folks. CML has got another great one. Willow Nightingale. What can I say about Willow Nightingale? She should be AEW World Champion. Athena's Athena. Like, I've been asking for Athena to come to Stardom forever now. So we're finally getting it. I'm not getting who I wanted her to face, but we're getting it. So I can't complain too much. I really can't. But Momo Watanabe won. I thought this match had such great action, nonstop mentality. Just keep going. Like, it was truly great. Truly great. I was really impressed with what these four accomplished. Obviously, all facing each other for the first time. I think. Did Willow face Momo before? Has she? I don't think so. I think this was the first time. Oh, wait, no, they did in that tag. Never mind. Momo and Willow have faced before in a tag. But still, my point remains. Really, really fun match. And Momo Watanabe won. She said she won't be picking the IWGP Women's title. She did pin Athena, though. So I don't think she should use her opportunity on the Ring of Honor Women's title either, because she doesn't have to. She should be handed that. Right? Right? Anyone? Yeah, that's what I thought. So awesome win for Momo Watanabe. Stuff we love to see. And then, of course, the championship match at Wrestle Dynasty was Mina Shirakawa defending the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Championship against the strong women's champion, Mercedes Mone. A wild New Japan strong women's title history, by the way. It's been Will Nightingale, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Mercedes Mone. That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, this was a very good match. This was the best I thought that Mina has looked since 2023. Truthfully, like this was really good. Plain and simple. Like I don't know how you can not expect them to have a really good match after all, right? This at the end of the day, we are talking about Mercedes Monet. This is what she does. She goes out there and she delivers. And Mina Shirakawa wrestled the same strategy that she had in 2023, which was great. It's exactly what you want to see, was this type of match. They got a lot of time, 14 minutes, and they just had a really good match. It was incredible to see Mercedes Mone get her moment in the Tokyo Dome. Um, I still prefer Mayu versus Azumi in the 6 minutes less that they had. I think it's pretty apparent that Mayu and Azumi, had they had more time, probably have one of the best matches of the year, period. Um, so that's how I thought, but this was really, really good. Mercedes Moné is such an awesome, awesome wrestler. And Mina showed up, which I was really expecting her to, because I know Mina can show up for the big match. So really good here. Congratulations to both of them on the big moment. But let's give it now a look ahead to Stardom this upcoming weekend. First of all, it starts for New Japan once again. Battle in the Valley 2025 will feature 2 matches with Stardom talent. The first is this tag right here. It will be Viva Von, Hanako, Micah, and Mina Shirakawa teaming up to face Anna Jay, Trisha Dora, Azumi, and Johnny Robbie. So that'll be an elimination match. So EXV, I would expect, gets the win here. Would have loved to just see like 2 matches out of all the Stardom talent there, but this should be pretty good. Maybe it leads to an opportunity for Viva Van, Trish Adora, or Johnny Robbie to head over to Stardom sometime in the future. It's always a possibility. And then we will also have the Sumi Sakai retirement match, where Mayu Iwatani will head to America for the first time in a long time. She will be on Team Hiromu, teaming with Hiromu Takahashi and TJPW's own AW now, but once upon a time, TJPW's own Yuka Sakazaki. Pretty absurd match to think about once upon a time, and in many ways, one of the true leaders of TJPW won again against the true leader, or teaming with the true leader of Stardom, the icon of Stardom, Yuka Sakazaki. Very cool to see. They'll be facing Sumi Sakai, Evil, and Show on Team Sumi. So I'm really looking forward to this match. It should be an absolute hoot. I like the unofficial way of getting EO in this match. That's my one comment. But I'm really looking forward to this. Really looking forward to this. Should be a lot of fun. That is on Saturday night. But let's take a look now here at Stardom's upcoming week. They'll be in Nagoya for 2 days before heading to Korakuen Hall on Monday. It is a holiday, so they do have a big show there. The card is as followed for Saturday. Lots of talent missing. Rian, Ruaka, and Hanan will all be missing due to a coming of age ceremony. So they'll be missing multiple shows. A lot of talent missing overall, but they're making the most of it. They have Athena in town, so that's cool. So here are your cards as followed. There will be an Artists of Stardom Championship Challenger tournament where the winners of the mini tournament will face Tam, Sayori, and Natsupoi on Monday at Korakuen Hall. The matches are as follows. You have Hazuki and Saida teaming with Momokogo to face Yuna Mizumori, Aya Sakura, and Sayaka Kurara. Obviously, we're rooting for the Cosmic Angels trio. That trio is the best trio out of the 4, I think. And then we have Hina, Lady C, and Rana Yagami facing Natsuko Tora, Rina, and Fukigen Death. A 3-way battle. Saori Ano versus Waka Tsukiyama versus Motoi Hamabe. You have Shuri, Saki Kashima, Tomoki Inaba, and Kyosuke Kotatsu teaming up to face Neo Genesis, Starlight Kid, Mei, Sarah, Suzuki, and Miyu Amasaki. Melt here. Back together again for a team up. They'll face Ruaka and Azusa Naba. And in your likely main event, it'll be Athena teaming with Stars Hanan and Koguma to face Saya Kamatani, Momo Watanabe, and Tekla. I'm looking forward to that one. On Sunday, this is not a complete card. Other matches will be scheduled, they say, but they're waiting on the results of the previous day. So the tournament finals will happen between the 4 teams, whoever makes it. There'll also be an ROH women's preliminary match. It'll be Athena's team versus Tekla's team. Again, to be determined who are in those matches. You'll see Mei Sarah face Saki Kashima in, again, another tag team pre-match. They'll both have their teams. And then in a 6-person tag, Tam, Natsupoi, and Sayori will team up against, again, opponents to be named. Really, really good preview here, obviously. And then on Monday, the Corkin Hall show, we will have 3 championship matches plus whatever else comes about from the card. Mayu, Maika, Mina, Hanako, and Azumi are all assumed not to be joining this show. They will not be back in time, which makes sense. Obviously, they wrestle Saturday night. They're probably going to be traveling back on Sunday. That would be absurd to have them wrestle Monday. Anyways, so here is your schedule for the Corkin Hall show, including some thoughts, previews, and whatnot. The high-speed championship match, as you see on your screen if you're watching on YouTube. Mei Seira will defend the title against Saki Kashima. So, the obvious big news here is that the rules have indeed changed for high-speed championship matches. Mei Seira, the champion, will now have the chance to successfully defend the title in a shorter time limit. The rules are as follows for all high-speed matches moving forward. It will be 10 minutes, best 2 out of 3 falls, 10 counts outside the ring. If the match is tied at the end of 10 minutes, the title is successfully defended. So, my critique here is I think they should have done one of the other. When I say one or the other, I mean 2 out of 3 with 15-minute time limit or just a 10-minute time limit. I think 10 minutes and 2 out of 3 falls is a bit much unless Saki Kashima is involved. Because I don't know if it gives each fall the time to breathe. Each fall essentially gets 3 minutes. That is WWE speed-esque. So I think the critique I would make is move it to 15 if you want to do the 2 out of 3 falls, or just make it 10 because 10 fits the Cinderella tournament once upon a time where every match was to 10 minutes and there was a real sprint to it. I think it makes sense to change up the rules if you want, right? You want to try to make this title unique, more unique with some sort of set of rules. So I don't have a problem with that. I just think the exact rules are very demanding, and I don't know if it will make for a great match. I think what it does work for, however, is a dominant champion. A dominant high speed champion that wins 2 falls in 10 seconds, like every match, and doesn't lose a fall would be very interesting to me. I think it's a hell of a story to go with somewhere here down the line in one of the future champions. But we'll wait and see. I'm going to wait and see how the match looks for a few matches, not just this one, before I have final judgments. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing by any stretch. You'll have the Artist of Stardom Championship match. Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, and Seriano finally defend their titles for the first time, I believe, since September. They'll defend the winners of that tournament. And then the likely main event will be an ROH Women's World Championship match. Athena gets her dream as she wants to travel the world. She will go one-on-one with Tekla for the title. Athena's obviously going to win, but I will say this. I do expect Tekla to have the best performance of her career. I've said this before. I think Tekla's looking for a contract somewhere internationally, and I expect her to put on the best performance she has in a long, long time. So we'll see how the match goes. Obviously, awesome to see Athena on all these cards. I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see on Monday how that all breaks down. Just worth noting as well for the World of Stardom, Saya Kamatani did successfully defend the Regina de Wave Championship on January 1st against Kohaku. So congratulations to her on getting that first defense. Also worth noting that Mayu Iwatani and Sarii received their awards at the Tokyo Sports Awards ceremony this past week. Mayu and Sarii took a nice picture together. Mayu took a lot of pictures with a lot of people. But just congratulations to both of them. Well deserved. I thought they were the 2 best wrestlers of the year last year. So just wanted to celebrate my 2 favorites when we had a chance here. Now, Let's move forward to TJPW. TJPW held their big Tokyo Joshi Pro 2025 show at Corkin Hall. 1483 in attendance, a great, great number for TJPW. So let's go through this show here. It was a big show. I don't have thoughts on everything, but I have enough thoughts here. I thought it was a very good show with two legitimately great matches, and a very good title change as well. So let's get to it. Opening match saw Chika Nanase and Toga defeat Himawari and Mifu Ishida. Of course, Mifu Ishida joining the roster. I think she's someone that, if they're smart, TJPW will get very behind by the end of this year. Kayatora Bami, Ryo Mizunami, and Yoshiko Hasagawa defeated Ivy Steele, Kira Summer, and Matcha. Harajuku, Raku, and Yuki Aino defeated Aja Kong, Haruna Neko, and Mihiru Kiryu. In a New Year's Lumber Snake death match, Hyper Masao defeated Shoko Nakajima. As everyone knows, I am not a big fan of comedy wrestling, but I know a lot of people that did have a great time with this. I know people that were in the building that had a great time with this. So, listen, I know who I am. I know how it goes. I understand I am often the odd one out, so that's fine. Then we had Moka Miyamoto and Yuka Sakazaki defeating Arisu Endo and Shino Suzuki. Listen, I was here for the Yuka Sakazaki versus Arisu Endo minutes. I truly believe that Arisu Endo is the best wrestler in Tokyo Joshi Pro. I do. And I said that before. And I'll say it again. I think she is the best wrestler going there. So seeing her and Yuka have their moments in the match was really entertaining. It's why I was here. The match itself was fine, but that was great to see. Yuka, nice to see Yuka back at TJPW every once or twice a year. It's always cool. I have no idea why she left. In terms of just like the full-on graduation, because she doesn't do a lot in AEW. But it gave them a chance to grow. I think it was beneficial for TJPW to obviously move forward and try new things. But it would be nice to see Yuka wrestle. Lei Ying Lee and Yuki Kamifuku defeated Rika Tatsumi and Wakana Yuhara in a solid little tag match. Lei Ying Lee got the win for her team. Let's get to the championship matches, however. This is what we're here for. So in the International Princess Championship match, it was Suzume getting the job done, defeating Yuki Arai to win the International Princess Championship, 13 minutes and 20 seconds. There is a legitimate possibility this is the best match Yuki Arai has had. I thought this was very well done. I thought Suzume was awesome, as she often is. It was a great moment. It really was. Suzume won with a springboard cutter on Yuki Arai because Yuki Arai had fought off the cutter. She jumps onto the rope, jumps back. It was a great finish to the match and a great winner here. Something that made me very happy to see. Long deserved for Yuki. So awesome. Just awesome to see. Great win for Suzume. I thought the match itself was better than expected. And no complaints here. That's a great championship change. And then we had the semi-main event. It was Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito defending the Princess Tag Team Championships against TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich and WWE ID's Zara Zakir. This match was great. This match was great, folks. One of the best tag matches of the year so far. Masha's awesome. Like, that was my big takeaway from this. Zara Zakir's awesome too, but Masha's so freaking good. Like, Masha is one of the best in the world. Truly, like one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, one of the best in America, blah, 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 whatever you want to say it. She's awesome. Every time I get to see Masha, I'm always like so impressed. And she fit perfectly in there with the Miyu Yamashas of the world. Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito is such a formidable, great tag team. I like that they have these tag belts and are having a real run with them. And having matches like this, I think that's far more interesting for us than just running back the same old tags. I'm going to guess they lose them at Grand Princess to Max Hart winners, which I plan to predict on the prediction show for anyone that's wondering. That does kick off next weekend. Yeah, I mean, very physical, very just nonstop action. Everything you want to see out of them. Miyu Yamashita and TJPW is just a different beast, folks. Like you can forget about it because she's not always there, but when you watch the big TJPW show and she shows up, she's just so awesome. I'd recommend this tag match to anyone. It's one of the best matches of the entire Wrestle Kingdom week. Whatever you may say, it was great. Just a great, great match. And speaking of great matches, we had the main event, the Princess of Princess Championship match. Miyu Watanabe, after holding the title since Grand Princess 2024, looking to beat another top star in TJPW. She had already beaten Miyu Yamashita. She had already beaten Rika Tatsumi. She's beaten Ryu Mizunami, Shoko Nakajima. But could she beat Mizuki? This match was stellar. Just a stellar championship match. Again, one of the best of the week. When TJBW has this Cork and Hall show, everyone should be watching because it's just so awesome. Truly. Like, this was a great match. A great match. Miyu Watanabe, what a champion. Seeing Miyu Watanabe being the dominant champion now instead of the underdog is a fascinating watch for me. It's a role she does so well, especially against someone like Mizuki, who obviously, she struggles to have much more power than Miyu Watanabe, but Mizuki's continued will and determination to get the win here. She hit the cutie special to get the win. She had a stomp on the outside, which was crazy. Just the swing in this where she's holding Mizuki by the arms and just going around and around. Mizuki winning, I think, is the right choice. Miyu's first reign was great for a lot of people. I don't think it lived up to the hopes I had necessarily, but it's still very, very good. And something that TJPW absolutely needed to do. And I think this is a fine stopping point for her first run. Mizuki now gets a second shot at running it with the belt. I hope it's a great chance. I'm fascinated to see who she defends against at Grand Princess. Obviously, Miyu Watanabe won't be in the question, so we'll see who she defends against. Mizuki's awesome. Mizuki's one of those wrestlers you forget is awesome if you don't watch TJBW all the time, but when she's in the big match, she absolutely thrives. So this was great. If you didn't watch it over on Wrestle Universe. There's nothing stopping you from checking it out. A few other things to quickly talk about here before we get to just the upcoming weekend for Marigold. We had Sendai Girls this past weekend as well at Shinjuku Face, a 5-match card on the 5th. The match was, in fact, the show was another fun watch. As they often have. I think that's the thing with Sendai Girls. That's why they won the promotion of the year last year in our 5-Star Joshi Awards. Consistency was the name of the game for them. Each and every show, you had consistency. You had Yuna defeating Soy in the opening match. You had the dream team of Chi-Chi, Veni, and Zones defeating Miyuki Takase, Ryo Mizunami, and Yura Suzuki. I love the Chi-Chi Veni duo. I walked away from the show saying, can we please give them a tag title match? Thank you. I think that needs to be the goal for Sendai Girls this year. The one goal, yes, but a goal for them. Then we had a really good time limit draw in Team 200 kilograms final match ahead of Yu's break. It was Chiro Hashimoto and Yu going to a draw with Mika Wada and Takumi Aroha. Just, 4 great wrestlers having a great match. That's all you can ask for. Thought this was the second best match on the show. Just really, really good. I'm gonna miss Team 200 kilograms so much in their break. Obviously, this now allows Hosh to go for the singles glory. This weekend, for example, they have another show. They have a New Year's Rumble, so that's the main thing, but it will be Chi Chi versus Chiro Hashimoto, which I'm freaking hyped about. But Hosh will be building towards that match with Mako at Yogi in 2 months. But a great send off, I thought, for Team 200 kilograms for the time being. Then we had Mako Satomura essentially just destroy Minami for 14 minutes. That's what this match was, but Minami kept fighting back, kept surviving, kept living. This was a destruction of her, but the young wrestler kept on fighting, which I thought was great. I think Minami is so good, and her advancement this year has been really incredible. But Mako's just Mako. Like Mako, I don't know how many more times I'm going to watch Mako and say, "Why are you leaving?" I understand why she's retiring. She's retiring on her own terms, which is great. It just makes me sad. Okay. Just makes me sad. And then the main event, which one of the best tag matches of the year to follow the TJPW tag. It was Bubba Bumble Momo Banana versus the Reiwa Ultima Powers. Mio Momono and Yurika Oka defeating Dash Sasako and Hiroya Matsumoto 18 minutes and 40 seconds. Just an awesome tag. Bubba Momo Banana starting the year off great. Mio Momono and Dash Sasako were sensational in this match. Hiroya Matsumoto was sensational. Yurika Oka was sensational in this match. Dash is just unreal, man. Like, I don't know how many times I got to say it. I'm going to keep saying it. Dash is on another level, just a truly, truly sensational wrestler. Same goes for Mio. And you know what? Yurika Oka, listen, all these Sendai Girls wrestlers are going to all these promotions, right? Let's get Yurika Oka going to some more places too. I know she appears in Marvelous, but Yurika Oka is so good. I'd like to see her do some more. But yeah, this was a great match. Truly. I know that Mio Momono and Yurika Oka will be defending the AAAW tag belts against Ryo Mizunami and Sonoko Kato sometime here in the future. But this was a stellar defense for them. So happy they won. They'll face Red Energy next up. That will be their next defense. So another good show. Like I said, Sendai Girls at Sendai Pit this weekend. So something to keep an eye on when that gets on Wrestle Universe. A quick little news bit here, but I like to congratulate Julia on winning the NXT Women's Championship. She won on NXT's New Year's Evil show this week. The third former World of Stardom champion to win the NXT Women's title. In terms of NXT Gold, of course, Mako Satomura, another former World of Stardom champion, also won gold here. But incredible year for Julia. She went from this time last year, she was New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Now she's NXT Women's Champion. Very cool to see her get that push. I'll always be a fan of anytime she gets her moment because she's a star, folks. She's an absolute star. Now let's get to Marigold here to wrap up the show. It's just news and previews here, so not much more. Nice hour flat here once again today. But Marigold announced on Thursday via Kouki Amarei. She announced a long-term absence due to a torn ACL. She's aiming, however, to return at the Yogi anniversary show in May, which is pretty crazy. Torn ACL is scary. You know, torn ACL could take a long time to develop, but she won't be getting surgery, which, hopefully means it's not as bad as, if you are a sports fan, you hear torn ACL, you think a long time. Kouki had gotten hurt in the match with Chikagoto. Her plan is not to relinquish the GHC women's title either. She'd like to keep it with the hopes of returning by May. So fingers crossed for Kouki. Obviously tough to see that she will miss as much time as she is. She had hit such a great stride. So it's a real bummer, but I'm rooting for her. I am absolutely rooting for her. So let's hope it's not too bad. But Marigold rolls on this weekend. They have 3 shows, much like Stardom. There's a holiday on Monday. So here are your cards as followed. They also announced injuries to both Nagisa Tachibana and Riara. Riara's not hurt, freelancer. She's not hurt. She's just sick. But Nagisa Tachibana, who had previously dealt with injury in her training, I believe, will be missing a little time here to keep things safe. So she won't be on the card. So your card on Saturday, thank you, Saturday on the 11th will be from Osaka. You'll see Yuki Minami versus Flying Penguin. You'll see Hummingbird go one-on-one with rookie Ryoko Sakamura. You'll also have, getting the full card in front of me, Rhea Seto and Nao Shikawa teaming up. They'll face Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki of the Dark Wolf Army. You also see Mirai Saku team up. Mai Sakurai's first match since winning the title. She'll face Natsumi Shizuki and Naho Yamada. And then your big 2 matches on that show, Utami Hayashishita will team up with Victoria Yuzuki and Misa Matsui against Bozilla's new team of Bozilla, Tank and the debuting Megaton. So something to look for there. And then your main event will be as followed. Sari Yamaoka, in her second career match, teams with Nanae Takahashi. She will face Miku Ano and Chika Goto. Very much looking forward to this one to see Sari Yamaoka make her strides in the ring. So definitely looking forward to it. Like I said, kind of exactly what you want to see out of her in her next match. On Sunday, they will be in Kyoto, I believe. So on Sunday, the card is as followed. You will see Nao Ishikawa versus Rhea Seto versus Hummingbird in 3-way action. I believe Natsumi Shizuki and Ryoko Sakamura will be facing off. They're the only 2 not on this card that are both healthy and ready to go, but I don't think that's an officially announced match, but I believe they will be facing off. Also on the 12th, you will have Utami Hayashishita, Misa Matsui, and Yuki Minami facing Bozilla, Tank, and Megaton. So another preview match ahead of the big title match on Monday. And your other 2 big matches will be Mai Sakurai and Chika Goto facing Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki in a preview tag ahead of Mai Sakurai's first defense against Nozaki on January 19th. And then your main event, it will be Nanae Takahashi, Victoria Yuzuki, and Sari Yamaoka facing Mirai, Miku Ano, and Naho Yamada. So should be a really fun match there. And then on Monday from Nagoya, there will be a championship match on this card. Your card is as followed. My apologies. I'm just getting it together. Nao Ishikawa, Yuki Minami team up against Bozilla and Megaton. It will be Misa Matsui going one-on-one with Ryoko Sakamura. And then you will have... Hold on. My apologies. Natsumi Shizuki versus Naho Yamada in singles action. Mai Sakurai and another preview tag against Nozaki will be Mai Sakurai and Rhea Seto versus Chiaki and Nozaki. And another big trios match will be Mirai, Victoria Yuzuki, and Sari Yamaoka. They'll face Miku Ano, Hummingbird, and Chika Goto. And then your main event for the first time since winning the title at First Dream, as you see on the video, if you're watching the video, Utami Hayashishita will defend the Marigold World Championship against Tank. They did announce 3 title matches as well for the Corkin Hall show on the 19th. We'll preview that next week. But that's it, folks. A nice, long, hour-long episode to catch you up on everything that I haven't the past couple weeks. Thank you for bearing with me. Always a great time to talk to all of you. I love getting to do this podcast now, both on YouTube and, of course, our podcast platforms. As always, you can follow me at Scott E Wrestling on Twitter. You can follow me, Scott E Wrestling, on Blue Sky. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already, so you can always never miss a video. Joshi predictions this coming Monday. They'll air live. Looking forward to that. Well, it won't be a live show. It'll be recorded, but it will be posted on Monday. I have so many predictions for Stardom, TJPW, Marigold, etc. So much to talk about. So look forward to that. Thank you, everyone, once again for joining me in this new era for the 5 Star Joshi Show. I greatly appreciate it. So until next time, everybody, see ya.